And a lot of what you teach is discipline. Is that right? As far as what not to do sometimes with your brain, as far as what not to do first thing in the morning, and how not to interact with your technology, and how to give yourself that space. Am I right?
You have, Jocko has that discipline equals, freedom. I know that was a powerful episode. I would say that you can have your to-do list, and the most successful achievers, they also have a not to-do list, because they know that their time and their attention, it's a finite resource, and too many people say yes, as we've heard, to good. Jim Collins, good to great. Say no to good so you can say yes to great things. And so having a not to-do list, your non-negotiables of things that you just won't entertain, will help you to put first things first. And a lot of times the things on there are really, they lead to distraction, they lead to productivity holes that we have. And one of them we've talked about, you and I, is our phone. That so many, we're not using our phone as much as our phone is using us. And technology is meant to be a tool to magnify our experience, not good or bad. Like fire it heats your food or it burns down your home. It's just how it's applied. But some of us go to our phones out of boredom, right? We open up, and it's great, again, because it helps us to be able to democratize this information and bring inspiration and instruction to people that crave it and that could use it. But it also, sometimes when we pick it out of boredom, then the technology is really using us, but it's meant to be a tool. But if that technology is using us, then who becomes the tool in that equation, right? And that's not the goal. And so but it's hard though, because for some people it's like an addiction.
Yeah.
And we've talked about addictions, you and I, in conversation, but it is acting like a drug for people when you have to pick it out of that bored state.
How do you work with companies when that is their business, technology?
Right.
Do they admit that they also have to be disciplined about their own tech?
Yes, and so it's all about, and people have to find their own harmony, whatever that happens to be for them. So some people, they have to check their email because of their career or their vocation first thing in the morning. I always recommend people not do it, ideally the first hour of the day, because we're just, in the first hour of the day, it's just when we're relaxed and we're highly suggestible, our brains are being rewired by our smart devices to be distracted, number one, but also to be reactive, like we talked about. It's just you're fighting fires. You get one voicemail or text message or email with some bad news. It just hijacks your whole day. Yeah. And so it's hard to have that discipline, but there's huge rewards that come from it. And it's an exercise. And just like with our focus is very much like a muscle. It grows stronger with use. But if a lot of us we're not feeding our focus, we're feeding our distractions, and that muscle is getting stronger. But the good news is we have control and we have responsibility. And the goal is just not to be running old scripts, to be conscious. I think the meta message of this conversation is that we are not our thoughts. We do these thoughts, and that we could always, and also these feelings and these behaviors. So when we're talking about habits, research is suggesting about 40% of our day is unconscious, habitual. And I would even argue probably more than that. Mm-hmm. It's these unconscious scripts, because we don't want to employ the nervous system energy, the mental energy to be able to, that's why it's so important to design our routines that we've talked about. The first hour of the day that we've heard, that if you want to win the day, you got to win that first hour to create positive momentum in your day. But the reason why you turn into routines is so you don't have to deplete mental energy in terms of what are you going to wear, what are you going to eat, what are you going to do, all these things, when you could apply that towards the areas of your life that really need it to make that kind of progress.